Fake news media ratings drop as Trump allies continue to grill them every single chance they get. New primetime lineup at MSNBC leads to drastic drop in ratings. MSNBC's new primetime lineup is not delivering on ratings. In fact, they're causing the exact opposite to happen as more people tune them out. Who could have predicted such a thing? After Trump's first 100 days in office came to a close and Rachel Maddow went back to her part-time schedule, the network promoted Jen Psaki to the 9 p.m. hour. What MSNBC seems to fail to realize is that everyone remembers that Jen Psaki was Joe Biden's White House press secretary. The Daily Mail reports, fresh embarrassment for struggling MSNBC as new lineup leads to disastrous ratings drop. Viewers are fleeing MSNBC just weeks after the liberal network debuted a new primetime lineup in a bid to salvage tumbling viewership. So far this month, MSNBC dropped 41% in the primetime demographic and 34% in the total day demo compared to May 2024. Leaked ratings figures show it's a stinging blow for Jen Psaki, who on May 5th took over for Rachel Maddow during the 9 p.m. time slot from Tuesday to Friday. The latest ratings for The Briefing with Jen Psaki came on May 22nd when it failed to crack the coveted 1 million viewer mark. Sean Hannity's show on Fox News, which also airs at 9 p.m., had 2.3 million total viewers that night. Psaki's show also performed dismally, with the 25 to 54 key age demographic, only pulling in 55,000 viewers in that category. By comparison, Hannity had 210,000 viewers in the key demographic. Gee, I wonder what it could be.
We finished
it's a
the
wrap.
first episode.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I need a drink. I need a drink. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we gonna eat. We gonna drink. We gonna party. We gonna eat. We gonna drink. And we gonna be back tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in the back, they're like working.
Okay, come back.
Yeah, not only are your lies collapsing your ratings because everybody sees that you're propaganda and not news, your so-called DEI hosts are obnoxious and repulsive. And it doesn't stop there. Jake Tapper's CNN show sees ratings collapse despite Biden book buzz and media tour. Poor Tapper. Jake Tapper is everywhere these days, doing interviews to push his new book about Biden's mental decline. But it's not helping the ratings on his CNN show. In May, Tapper's show saw its lowest ratings since 2015. Fox News reports, Jake Tapper's CNN show hits lowest ratings since 2015, despite new Biden book buzz, intense publicity tour. CNN host Jake Tapper had his lowest rated month in nearly a decade in May, despite a whirlwind publicity tour giving him an onslaught of attention. Tapper and Axios reporter Alex Thompson's new book, Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again, was released in May to much fanfare. The book helped set the recent news cycle with new accusations of the Biden White House hiding the truth about the former president's fitness for office. To promote the project, Tapper has embarked on a wide-ranging book tour that landed him on a variety of podcasts, talk shows, and cable news. The book has also been promoted relentlessly across CNN, but the spotlight on Tapper has seemingly failed to give him a boost in viewership. The Lead with Jake Tapper averaged 525,000 total viewers from April 28th through May 25th, shedding 25% of CNN's audience in its time slot from the same period last year in the process. Obviously, Jake Tapper, in my opinion, is attempting to salvage any credibility he might have left, if there's any, which I don't think there is any credibility left for somebody like Jake Tapper or anybody on CNN. But obviously, this entire book tour, book push, is a failed attempt to boost his viewership and to also perform some damage control. Cancer, acne rosacea, multiple sclerosis, and rheumatoid arthritis are 4 different diseases in 4 different areas of medicine. What if they can all be treated with parasite medication, and that turns out for these diseases to be true? What if I told you that if you had a pet or ate sushi, you are more likely to have parasites? This means that a lot of our ailments that we experience every day are caused not by environmental issues, but by parasites as well. This is something Big Pharma does not want you to know about. I know many of us check off many of these boxes, This is why Purge is offering their new liver cleanse products for all of you out there that need to clear those toxins out once and for all. PurgeStore.com offers everything you need to cleanse and detox your body. Powerful enzymes and probiotics, 15-day colon cleanse protocols, liver cleanse, and of course, the Parasite Cleanse. Right now, if you go to PurgeStore.com and use promo code DREW, that's DREW, you will get 20% off your entire order. Use the link in the description below, PurgeStore.com, and support the Gateway Pundit today. The Gateway Pundit is supported by the people, we the people, that is you, the American people. We thank you for your support. Well, Trump allies definitely have been grilling the fake news on their own shows and networks as well, including Stephen Miller, turning the tables on CNN reporter when she tries to embarrass him with a bad faith question and uses politically correct term to describe illegal aliens. On Friday, White House Deputy Chief of Staff and Interim National Security Advisor Stephen Miller appeared on the network CNN with host Pamela Brown to discuss the Supreme Court ruling allowing the Trump administration to revoke the legal status of more than 500,000 migrants, illegals, from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela, along with Trump's recent comments against federal judges who blocked him from imposing tariffs and the Federalist Society. During their discussion, Brown noted that Miller always states that judges are going rogue whenever there is a ruling against the administration, and demanded to know whether the White House believes in checks and balances at all.
Whenever a judge rules against this administration, you say they're going rogue. Do you think a judge should just rubber stamp what your White House does? If not, what checks and balances do you think should be in place for this White House?
It is not the job of a district court judge to perform an individual green light or red light on every single policy that the president takes as the head of the executive branch. Just think about the premise baked into your question, respectfully, Pam. You're saying that when the American people elect a president of the United States of America,
I'm not saying that.
Well, it's the implication, who is the sole head of the executive branch. Well, let me finish. I will answer the question happily. But look, when you have these kinds of lazy assumptions built into questions, it makes it hard to have a constructive dialogue.
What is a lazy assumption? I said you all had to win.
You said no. You said is it my expectation?
I'm speaking
because
now you're putting.
You said is it my expectation? It's not just you. It's the whole media. In other words, when you
I know
hear
you
a
want to
sentence
loop
like
us on. It is a completely fair question. You say judges who rule against the White House
and I will
go rogue.
gladly answer it. When you say, do we think district court judges should rubber stamp each action? There is a premise that is built into that is absurd. The president is the sole head of the executive branch. He's the only officer in the entire government that's elected by the entire American people. Democracy cannot function. In fact, democracy does not exist at all if each action the president takes, foreign policy, diplomatic, military, national security, has to be individually approved by 700 district court judges. That's democracy. So if there's 15 communist crazy judges on the court, that each of them as a team working together can block and freeze each and every executive action. Joe Biden was allowed by that same court system
Some of them
to
are
import
Trump
20
judges,
million
though.
illegal foreigners.
Why did Trump put these crazy communist judges, as you call them, on the bench?
You heard President Trump himself say that the Federal Society and Leonard Leo has created a broken system for judicial vetting. And God knows this time around, we are not going to be using...
So does that mean he doesn't support picking Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court?
What it means is simply this and nothing more. We're not going to be using the Federal Society to make judicial nominations at all going forward.
And they wonder why their credibility is being destroyed by themselves. They ask their stupid little one-side questions and don't even let you respond to them.
Undocumented migrant sent a letter threatening to kill the president, promising to self-deport after the assassination. CNN reporting shows that investigators believe the migrant was set up. It was a victim of a setup. What is the administration going to do now? And this is an undocumented immigrant. I do want to note that. But this was someone who came forward, was a victim of a crime, and now law enforcement believes he was set up. Go ahead.
Well, I want to clarify what you mean, so we're talking about the same thing. Are you saying this immigrant was here illegally?
Yes, but I am, and that's why I said that. I clarified that.
You said undocumented, and I wasn't clear what that means. I'm assuming they have a fake ID. I'm assuming they have a fake social security number.
That's neither here nor there. That's getting away from the
question,
Stephen. I want this to be and call me naive, a good faith discussion about what's happening right
but
now.
when we use language that's designed to obscure the truth, that's not good faith.
All right,
an illegal
does this
alien
risk...
is an illegal alien. They're not an undocumented migrant.
Okay, that's fine. That's another discussion for another date.
I don't know the details of the assassination threat. All I can say, based on what you're telling me, is there's an illegal alien in our country who's making menacing threats. Regardless of the facts or circumstances, we don't want him here. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and I would gladly come back on when I have more information to share with you.
They were set up, just to be clear. But quickly,
So
where is the White House on habeas corpus?
the illegal alien was treated unfairly. Yes, I'm sure the illegal alien was treated very unfairly.
Where?
This is their problem. This is not news. I mean, I love to watch Stephen Miller grill them, trust me. But CNN, with their bias, always defending the illegal aliens. They refuse to call them what they are, illegal aliens, an actual legal term. And then they sit there and they wonder why the American people don't trust a single word that comes out of their mouths. Because they're unwilling to tell the truth. Speaking of grilling the fake news, Elon Musk did just that recently. Elon Musk grills New York Times when asked about reporting on alleged drug use. Elon Musk on Friday demolished the Russiagate hoaxers at the New York Times in response to a question in the Oval Office about a recent hit job they published about the Doge chief. On Friday morning, the New York Times published a report using anonymous sources, of course, alleging that Elon Musk juggled drugs during the 2024 election cycle and was using drugs far more intensely than previously known, and crediting the eccentric billionaire's erratic behavior to potential drug abuse. Fox correspondent Peter Doocy began asking the question, and Musk already knew what he was going to say and cut him off. Take a look.
There is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between...
It's the New York Times. Is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate? Is it the same organization?
I think it is.
I think it is. I think the judge just ruled against the New York Times for their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times? Let's move on.
Okay.
Next question.
Exactly. When you have a track record of not telling the truth, especially when you have reported on the so-called Russian collusion story, it was all a hoax, you have zero authority, you have zero credibility, and nobody is going to listen to anything you have to say or report on in the future. Lies, hypocrisy, and cover-ups. And the fake news media has been engaged in all three of those things. And the American people are not stupid. They've caught on. That's why their ratings are collapsing. My name is Drew Hernandez for the Gateway Pundit, and you have been on Watch with Drew Hernandez. I'll see you guys on the next one.